friends, in this episode we will see how to create a container, how to commit the changes in the container, and how can we create a new image on the container. So before I start, I just want to note down the steps. So what are we going to do today is, let me just open a notepad here. So we will create a Linux based instance today. We will install the Docker in the same Docker image. We will create a container from Docker image. We will modify the container and we will commit the same to a new image, and from this new image we will try to create another container, right? And meanwhile, with all the steps we will see whether uh, the changes are getting present at your browser or not. So let me minimize it, and before I start I just want to talk about Docker architecture. So if you see Docker architecture, basically we have a hardware. So every laptop has got hardware. So hardware has got certain details, wherein this hardware has got your CPU, RAM, memory, etc., right? So on top of hardware we have an operating system. So if I say we may have some OS installed, it may be Linux or Windows, right? So what we do generally, we install Docker engine on top of OS. So today we will be installing Docker engine on top of Linux based system. So on top of Linux I will install Docker image, Docker engine, and after that we will try to create containers. So basically container doesn't have its own OS. It may have some files of OS, but it doesn't have the entire OS the way we have in the virtual machines. So that is the reason all these containers are basically very lightweight, and they are running independently. So we'll see that as well, right, today. So let me quickly go back to my console. That is, I'm already logged in into my Amazon console account, wherein what I'll do, I'll just try to create a new instance. So for that, let me click on launch instance. Launch instance. Let me give some name. My Docker instance would be, it would be good to give this name. Sorry for that. My Docker instance, I have Linux AMI selected as Linux T2 micro. I'll just create a new key pair. Some Docker key. Have some ppk file. I'm just downloading it in the form of ppk file, that is private key, so that we can use the same directly from an inputee. So we would be trying to log into this machine via putty. So we'll just click on launch instance, and now as you see the instance launching has been initiated. We'll again go to view all instances, and we'll just go to dashboard, and let me see any instances running. So it may take some time to get it up and running, right? So yeah, it may take some time, maybe a minute or so. Yeah, as I see, it is getting like started, right? So what we'll do, we'll just go inside the instance, and we will just try to modify the security group. So security group, basically if I go inside, I see that the port 80 is not enabled. So we will enable the port 80, so that we are able to communicate with port 80 of this particular source machine. So what I did is that I went to the security group in my instance. I'm into security group page right now. I'll click on edit inbound rules. I'll click on add rule. I'll select STPP here. I'll go and save the rules. So now the security group has been modified. We'll just go back and we'll just try to copy the public IP address. So we'll copy the public IP address. I'll open the putty session. Have the copied the IP address. I'll go back to SSD auth. I'll make sure that I locate the correct private key. Let us say open. Meanwhile, what we'll do, we'll just try to change the appearance. So I'll go to change settings. I'll make it font as 16 bold. I'll have colors. Let's have white and let's have default bold background. Would be, let's have some nice color today. Let's see how it works. Okay, so now easy to use it. Login name, right? So let me clear the screen. Now first what we'll do, we'll just go to the root user sudo su, and after that we will install, rather we will update the system with the latest packages. So update yum update -y. Hyphen y is basically it won't prompt you for yes no prompt won't come. So that is the reason I've given -y. Right. So I'm just updating my Linux system with the latest packages. So this is a very important process before you start your like development. Rather, you create a new instance, and you want to make sure that so your instance is updated with the latest packages. So the command is yum update -y. You can type yum update also, but after that it will ask you for that prompt, yes no prompt. As you see, it has been updated. Let me clear the screen. Let us go yum install docker. So we'll just install the docker, right? -y. See here, I've not given -y, so it is asking me. So I'll just give y. So now here I'm installing docker. Docker engine is the correct name. Docker is a company name which has got a product Docker engine, the way we have VMware, etc. Right? Okay, so the Docker has been installed. So what we'll do, the next command would be we will start the service. So how do we start the service? Service Docker start. So Docker service has been started. We'll just check whether we have any images present in this system or not. So Docker images -a, no images. Docker ps would be just to check whether we have containers. So no containers. So now we will try to create a container. So the command would be, I've already noted down the command. So command would be we will try to create a Tomcat Apache container. Rather, I'm trying to create a container from Tomcat Apache image. So for that, I'll just, the command would be docker create. You give name, and then you give your. So I'm giving Apache base as my container name, right? From Tomcat Apache. The image file name is stppd. So this is already present in the Docker Hub. So as you see that it is unable to find image locally. So what Docker like engine will do, it will download the image from repository, that is from Docker Hub. So it got installed, got created rather. So we will see the status. So -a, you see that yeah, the container has been created, right? Apache base. So what we'll do, we'll just try to start the container. So to start the container, the command is docker start and your container name. So in our case it is Apache base, right? Let's see we are able to see the default page or not. So what I'll do, I'll just copy the IP address. I'll go to my browser. We have already enabled the port 80, so we should be able to, yes. One thing I forgot to mention it here, in create command I have given port 8080. So 8080 is nothing, it is basically, if you see here, port 80, I am going to expose this my container port 80 with the host machine port 80. So that is an 8080 I have just given, and as we see, the moment we started the container service, I am able to see the default page in the back, right? So what we'll do now, we'll just try to modify this particular page. So for that, we will try to create a index.html file. So let me in this working directory wherever we are right now. So let me open index.html. I'm going to open in my vi editor. I'll go to insert mode. I'll have it. I have the code, sample code ready in my notepad. So I'm just going to copy, paste, right click, paste. I'll come back from this ls. We'll just see, yeah, index.html file has been created. Now we'll just copy this index.html file to the container default directory. So for that, the command would be int copy. Make sure you give the correct container name. So what I'll do, let me clear the screen first, and let me, yeah, no such directory. So I have not given the correct directory name. So what the name of container was, what was the name of container? Let me go back again. Docker docker ps. What was the name? It is Apache base, but I have given my Apache, right? So we'll have to modify the command. So command would be docker cp index.html, very important step, and then you give correct container name, Apache underscore base, and then path would be the same, the user local Apache to htdocs, right? So the index file has been copied. Let's go back to the browser and let's see whether the changes get appear or not. So let me refresh it. Yeah, as you see, it is now the page got refreshed. So the content of the container has been modified. So what we'll do, we'll just try to commit those changes. So to commit it, basically docker commit and the name Apache underscore base. So now the image has been created. So if I go back, images, I see there are two images, but I don't see any tag. So what we'll do, we'll just provide a tag also. As you see here, there is no tags, right? So this is the image which we have created. Rather, we have committed, we have modified the container. From container, we created an image, but that doesn't have any tag. So we'll just give the tag name to that newly created image. So docker tag. I'll just copy the image ID. Give some image. So it would be Apache underscore base image, right? Let's see, images hyphen a. So yeah, we see that it has been tagged properly, right? So what we'll do now, we'll just try to create a new container from this particular newly created image. So for that, we will before that, what we'll do, we'll just try to remove that particular previous image. So for that, docker ps, what was the image? It was Apache base, right? So I'll just stop it first. So let me stop this container image. and we'll just try to remove this. So docker rm apache base, and if I go back and if I just try to refresh the page is not getting refreshed because we have removed that previous container. So we'll just try to create a new container. We'll map it port 80. So from the newly created image. For that, what I'll do, I'll just go back. First, we'll see how many images we have here. We don't have any running image, but we have, rather we don't have any container, but we have a newly image created. We don't have any container. So what I'll do, I'll just paste command and I'll just modify it. So my it can be anything. It can be hello world. I can have a new container name, and I'll have to make sure that I'm using the correct image name. So in our case now it is Apache base image. That was the modified one, right? So I'll just correct the image name here, Apache base image. Yeah. So as you see that the container has been created now. I see one container has been created and it is up and running. So let me go back to my browser. Let us try to refresh it. As you see that hello world is now appeared. So basically what we have done, we created a instance, we installed docker, we created a container, we modified the container, and then we committed those changes and created a new image, and we removed the previous image, and from the newly created image we created a new container. And as you see that the changes are getting reflected here. So what I'll do, I'll just copy paste these commands with this video in this video description, and let us try to, I suggest you to try at your end, and do let me know in the comment section. Yeah, thank you.